Welcome back to another message crawler update. Today we're going to talk more about deduplication, but before you click away, I know we talked about deduplication in the last like 3 videos probably. Now we're going to talk about deduplication on RSMF level. So how can we take not just individual messages to duplicate them against each other, but take the whole RSMF files and deduplicate those against each other? So problem we're having is RSMF files contains a lot of extra information that prevents deduplication from working efficiently. If you're working with a DAT file, then your control numbers and group identifiers and things like that going to be embedded inside the RSMF file. And if you have duplicates with different control numbers, well, that will create a different RSMF file. You can also have GUIDs generated for participants and things like that. So just generating binary hash on RSMF file doesn't really work. Now there are ways we can make it work, but it makes it very difficult and very cumbersome, and the RSMF file is probably not going to be very usable. So I came up with a different solution. Let me take you to my computer screen and show you what I got. All right, what we have here is message crawler. And here we have 2 sets of data loaded. So we have 94 messages. And of course, we have duplicates, as we can see from the dupe status field. But what if I'm interested in not duplicates in individual messages, but duplicates in conversations? So whenever a same group of messages gets exported, I want to deduplicate that. When is that going to be interesting to people? And it's usually when dealing with Slack data. Because you can have multiple exports of Slack data and they may have overlapping data. And so what you want to do is eliminate duplicates whenever same conversation happens more than once. But if the data is different, if the conversation is different, then you want to include it. So what I came up with is an option to generate body hash. Now, to generate body hash, all we have to do is select write to cross-reference file. You don't actually have to check anything. Body hash will be automatically generated and written to cross-reference file as long as you have this checkbox selected. Now, what is a body hash? What does it consist of? For that, we need to look at the RSMF file itself. So this is RSMF file, and here we have messages with dates and names and so on. So body hash consists of a name of a person who sent the message, date when they send it, and the body of the message. Basically what you see here, this is the information that goes into generating body hash. Now I did one more thing, and I made a list of all the attachments that are included with this conversation, and I included attachments names as part of the hash generation. So your froms, dates, message body, and names of all the attachments. That is what will get written into the body hash. So let's do a quick export and see what it looks like. I'm going to pick a folder. We have cross-reference selected, and I'm just going to say generate export. So now we have 12 files exported. And if I go here to my folder structure, you'll see that I have my RSMF files and I have my DAT file. So let's load this DAT file into message crawler. And now we can see that we have these hashes. So we're going to have this one and this one that are the same. And again, this one and that one are the same. So what we can do with this cross-reference file now is we can overlay this into relativity. So we'll use a file name as our identifier, as we would do before. And we would overlay body hash into the workspace. And then we can use relativity's deduplication script to tag any duplicates or originals. Now this way, you get to load all the data in if that's what you want to do, and you can identify which RSMF files are duplicate of what other ones. Of course, I had to add this feature to convert tool. So when we go to Slack convert, and again, we select write to cross-reference file, will get these hashes generated, because again, this is the primary case for this tool, is for working with Slack data sets, and people have multiple exports, and these exports overlap each other at random places. But like we talked about, don't want to go into individual messages and start messing with them. We just want to do it on the conversation level. So we'll select write cross-reference, and that field will be generated. Now, one thing that's going to be different here is because original Slack data just contains files with dates, that may not create unique enough files for cross-reference to be overlaid. And because of that, suffix will be added to a file name. So message crawler will generate like a GUID, and it will append it at the end of the file name. Not a big deal. File name will look a little different, but you'll have that, and that will enable you to overlay cross-reference file after you process data. If you don't do that, you're going to have duplicate file names, and of course cross-reference file will be useless in that case. All right, so that's my idea on how to deduplicate complete RSMF files in Relativity. Let me know if you think this is useful, or if something else needs to change for this to work effectively for you. Thank you for checking out this update. I will see you on another.